So is the Congo a lost cause? Is it forever dystopia, blighted by mass poverty and widespread violence? Personally, I don't believe that's inevitable. But if the country is to achieve a brighter future, change is unavoidable and urgent. And I think the upcoming presidential election is a critical inflection point. As you know, the 2018 election was a fraud, a blatant fraud. The Catholic Church and other observers commented and stated that. Nevertheless, for whatever that's worth, in the name of stability, the result was largely accepted by regional bodies and major powers. Personally, I feel that was a mistake, but it was done. But the downside of that was that the incoming government lacked essential, in my view, legitimacy, genuine legitimacy, and indeed internal coherence, and soon became entangled in internal disputes and discord with a rotating cast of ministers and senior figures. But what's worrying me now is that the Catholic and Protestant churches in the Congo, together with civil society organizations, are already warning and have been warning for several months that the credibility of the forthcoming election is also in danger. There are serious doubts, as you well know, and those who follow the Congo, about the impartiality and integrity of the National Electoral Commission. I'm not pointing the finger, but its record, especially the last time around, was not good. And indeed, the final arbiter of electoral issues, in a way, or disputes or confirmation of the election, which is the Constitutional Court. For its part, however, the political opposition in the DRC needs to present, I think, a coherent and plausible case for change, and above all, avoid the self-defeating fragmentation propelled by regional antagonisms and personal ambitions. As you all know, the DRC uses first past the post electoral system, and this usually makes it easier for incumbents to retain office, especially if there are multiple candidates on the ballot. Frankly, that's why President Kabila changed the electoral law before the 2013 election, was to guarantee his own re-election. So Congolese society is now calling for the various opposition contenders to develop a collaborative approach to ensure that voters have a viable choice. And I think we should underline that. A good government needs a good opposition. And when you don't have that, then we see that governments lose accountability and don't accept responsibility. So I hope the opposition, the multiple candidates, will heed the call of civil society. But I think regional and international actors have to play their part too. And in the time remaining before the election, which is very short now, they should continue to forcefully impress on the Congolese government that the election must be truly free and fair, if not perfect, but free and fair largely. And if not, warn them of the consequences, if that is not indeed the case. Above all, I think they must not this time round endorse a dubious result in the name of stability, because they won't get stability in that context. For its part, the UN and other organizations that provide support for elections should be careful and should not do so if there are clear signs that electoral malpractice is likely or underway.